Hi, I'm Dave Garland. We're here at Val di Sole, final round of the UCI World Cup. This week's tech section, we're going to be looking at the tricky subject sometimes of how to set a bike up relative to a rider's weight distribution, whether they're clipped in or they're using flat pedals, and the reasons why you would actually spring and set a bike slightly different for those two types of riding styles. Clipped in riders generally have their weight distribution very central to the bike or even slightly forward. So in terms of suspension setup, the front and the rear are generally the same, a little bit stiffer on the front end because when a clipped in rider is accelerating or going through a turn, generally their weight distribution is more central or forward to the bike, whereas flat pedal riders always hang off the back of the bike. So the fork has to be sprung slightly softer, the rear has to be slightly firmer but still supple enough so they don't get their feet blown off the pedals. And again, in the corners you would generally find if it's a very fast flat turn, a flat pedaled rider will hang their inside foot out just for a little bit more stability. They can enter the turn a little bit quicker than an SPD rider, whereas an SPD rider can exit a turn slightly faster. We're here with Chris Ball, former World Cup downhill pro and now chief delegate for the UCI. Chris, can you tell us the difference between flat pedal and SPD riders in terms of cornering and why flat pedal riders seem to go through corners quicker?
I think there might be a number of factors. Sometimes it comes down to confidence. I know I ride flat pedals and it's because I get more feel. I think when you're riding a flat pedal, just to keep your feet on the pedals, you got to drop your heels more. So there's a lot more load, so much more hip movement. I think on a flat pedal rider. I think that translates to more traction through the tyre. Obviously the top end guys are on SPDs are doing that as well, but it certainly seems to be more corner and grip and a bit more stability and the ability to take your foot off, so a bit more confidence inspiring there as well. So a number of small factors on flat pedals.
Would you say that on a flat pedaled rider rides a little bit more wild, where SPD riders have to have a little bit more finesse in the turns?
Sometimes, yeah, that can be the case. I think you've got more chance of taking a foot out and dabbing, so you can push it to the limits a bit more on a flat pedal. But likewise, you've got to be careful not to blow your feet off all the time because your feet aren't being held on mechanically. So there's a finesse to flat pedal riding that I think is not always clear from the videos.
Right, and the weight distribution between SPD and flat pedals, why does that make such a difference?
I think, as I said, because you've got to drop your heels more, you've got to use the concave of the pedal more, you've got to feel the pedal through your shoe a lot more, softer sole in your shoe. That inadvertently pulls your hips back a fraction. You tend to ride a little bit more off the bike, a little bit more weight, through your legs than maybe you would on a clip where your heel tends to sit a bit taller, and therefore you can put more weight on the front, but less worry about your feet coming off. So there tends to be more of a rearward bias through the hips, through the knees, and through the feet on a flat pedal. But everyone's different, I suppose, but as a generality, that's the case, or often the case.
Okay, thanks very much, Chris. So that's this week's tech section. Thanks for joining us, and if you've got any questions about weight distribution, whether you're a flat pedal rider or SPD rider, you can email us on Facebook and we can answer those questions next time round.